Can you reinvent your life after 40 years old? Well, let me be a case study for you because I turned 40 right in the middle of COVID in June of 2020. I was currently bartending. That's what I've been doing for most of my life. I also had a marketing business that was going pretty well until COVID hit. And all of a sudden, everything stopped. My bartending income completely disappeared because the restaurants were all shut down. My marketing business took a hit, and all of a sudden, I was back at square one at 40 years old. And it got me thinking. I spent that year actually reading a book a month for an entire year. So I read 12 books that year. I gained a lot of insight into what I wanted in my life, and I started picking up the pieces. I started new businesses. I got a new job. I started saving a bunch of money. And now, coming into this summer, I'm going to be turning 45 years old. And I want to tell you that no matter what you think, 40 years old is not too late to get started and to reinvent yourself, because I'm doing it right now and I'm actually feeling really good about it. I went last week on a road trip down to Charleston, South Carolina, because I've been thinking about moving there for at least the last 10 years. I have a little bit of family down there, who most of which have also moved away from the area. But I've always been really kind of enamored by Charleston. I live currently in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which, if you know anything about it, is a beautiful city during the summer. We have a beautiful array of deck restaurants that are right along the water. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's a really fun city to go out in, but I've also been living here since I was in my late 20s. And if you've lived in the same place for 20 years, it starts to get a little bit stale, especially having bartended in the city for so many years. I really, didn't even want to go out anymore. I don't do a whole lot. And at 40, almost 45 years old, all of my friends are now married with kids. And I'm one of the last men standing with no kids and no wife and not much holding me back. So last week I took a road trip down to Charleston. I brought my dog with me. And it was pretty eye-opening. I said, why don't I go down there? I'm thinking about moving. I finally was able to save enough money where I have a nice little nest egg put away that I was preparing for this move over the last year. And I'm completely comfortable and finally able to do it, which is really cool. So it took some time. I drove from New Hampshire all the way down to South Carolina. The road trip in itself was quite an adventure. I went the wrong way going south. I went too far west trying to avoid New York and New Jersey and all the traffic there, and ended up adding probably another 6 to 7 hours onto my road trip on the way down, which kind of sucked. But I had my dog with me, and I had no agenda and no schedule, so it didn't really matter too much. But when I got down there, first night, I checked into a hotel right in Mount Pleasant at almost midnight by the time I finally got into town. And I woke up the next morning with the sun out and the city being beautiful, and decided to go for a drive. So I tossed the dog in the truck and started driving all around Mount Pleasant and checking out the sites and seeing what the layout was like. And that's kind of where I wanted to move. I was thinking about moving to Mount Pleasant, but as you probably know, until you actually get there and start driving around, you don't really know what it's like and if it's really kind of the vibe that you're feeling. And I really liked it. It was very close to what I'm used to in Portsmouth. The size difference is absolutely astronomical. Mount Pleasant itself, I think, has as many people as the entire seacoast of New Hampshire. So my little town is like a very small corner of Mount Pleasant. So it's a pretty big place. And then I started looking at all the different apartments I've looked at on Zillow over the last 6 months, 2 years, where I've really been kind of looking around, getting used to the area, seeing what's available, what prices are for different places. And I knew with my budget, being a single guy, being the first time I'm actually not going to have a roommate as well, so that makes things a lot more expensive. Just trying to get your own place on one income is a lot. I was looking at least $2,000 to $2,500 a month, so that's a pretty big jump in rent for me. And I started driving through some of the different apartment complexes, because that was going to be, as much as I didn't want to live in an apartment complex with a dog, that was probably going to be the most affordable way for me to get down there and to start to plant my roots in the area. So there was a couple different ones that were on the Shem Creek sort of river, and I checked those out, and I drove through the communities, and they're kind of nah. Yeah, it wasn't anything that really got me too excited. Then I went all the way out down to the northern side of Mount Pleasant and checked out Charleston National Golf Course. I drove through on the southern side. I drove through Patriots Point Golf Course, because that's one thing that's really important to me. I play a lot of golf, so I want to try to be close to a golf course that I'm going to be playing on a regular basis, because it's great. I work for myself, so in the middle of the workday, to be able to bounce and go play 9 holes and come home and get some more work done, I wanted something to be fairly close. Charleston National looked really good. I didn't get a chance to play there on this trip, but I did play there about a decade ago, and I remember it being pretty nice. I did, however, play Patriots Point, which was an absolute shit show. I would highly recommend not spending your money and playing there. The greens were absolutely destroyed. They're literally dead, need to be ripped up and resodded. And from what I heard from locals, it's been like that for about 2 years. So I won't be playing at Mount Pleasant. But I did go and check out Shem Creek and all of the restaurants that are right on the water there, on the decks. And those are really cool. I took the chance to go walk my dog along the boardwalk there, and I'll show you guys some pictures as we're talking about this. But there's a really long boardwalk that goes all the way out to the point. Then you can come all the way back down alongside the river and then walk by all the restaurants, and that was really cool. And then I had an Airbnb on James Island, which I stayed at for 4 days. That was really cool. The Airbnb was awesome. I actually had a massive fenced-in backyard, so the dog was really happy there. She got a chance to run around off leash and let loose some of that energy. She's only 10 months old, so driving for 2 days down and 2 days back she slept a lot, so she was excited to stretch those legs and get some running in. And then, for the next 4 days, I kind of explored around James Island, and I had appointments to go look at 2 or 3 different apartments that were available. And all said and done, I ended up deciding to post up pretty close to Shem Creek in an apartment building that I found down there called the Boulevard. And I'm really excited about that, going through the application process right now. So, and the point of this video, can you reinvent yourself in your 40s? I would say 100% yes. There's a lot of people that are out there that are probably like me, that maybe had either a career that they weren't overly excited about that they had for the first 20 years of their working career. I was bartending. Obviously, bartending isn't something I'm going to do for my entire life. I probably stayed in it a little bit longer than I should have. I bartended to about 40 years old. I haven't done it since, but it's about 20 years of working in bars and restaurants. You develop a lot of great skills that are transferable to sales and other industries from that. And then I got into a sales role. I started a new marketing agency. I have done some other stuff. I have my network marketing business that's still going. And basically everything that I do is remote. So I'm taking this opportunity to go somewhere new. And like I said, most of my friends at this point, we're still friends, but they're all married with young kids. And if you know anybody with young kids, the husband's not able to get out and go golfing as much as he liked to when he was still single or just had a girlfriend and no kids yet. So I'm going down there to go meet some new people. I'm moving by myself. I don't know anybody that's going to be down there. And in just the few days that I did go out, I didn't go out a ton, but I went out to dinner pretty much every night. I did spend some time. I went to a place called Vickery's, which is right in Shem Creek. That was really, really fun. I hung out there for maybe like 3 hours, got some food, had a few beers while I was checked out of my hotel and waiting for the Airbnb to open up. Met some people there. Actually, I met a whole bunch of people there. And it's just really cool being around a group of people that are just so friendly. Everybody's so much friendlier down in the South than they are in New England. Coming from the restaurant industry, I'm really kind of, I just talk to everybody. It's just been kind of bred into me to always say hello and introduce myself and just say hi to people as you're walking around. And up here in Portsmouth, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time when I'm walking my dog, 2, 3, 4 times a day, I walk by people and just, casually say hello, hey, how you doing? And 50% of the time, they just straight up ignore you. It's like New York City type of attitude. I absolutely hate it. And down south, it was really cool. Everybody was super friendly, talkative. You say hi to somebody and they make eye contact, they say hi back. And it was just a really great experience. So if you're at the place right now in your life where you're thinking about making a change, but you're not sure and it's a little kind of unsettling, I would say just make some plans and just freaking go for it. I'm so excited about this move. I just let my landlord know today that we're going to be giving up our lease, or our lease is up in the end of June. So if you are moving to Portsmouth and you want an apartment, comment on this and maybe I can hook you up with him when this place is cleaned up and ready to be re-rented. But it's official now. I've given up the place that I've been at for the last 3 years, and I'm packing everything up. I'm going through all my furnishings, all the stuff that I have, and I'm selling pretty much everything. I'm buying entirely new furnishings for the new house. New couch, TV stands, end tables, bed, mattress, dressers, everything. I'm getting pretty much all brand new stuff, so I don't have to take it all down with me. I'm going to just have it all delivered right there. It's going to be nice and easy. I'm going to pack up the little bit of stuff that I need to take with me. So all my fishing stuff, because I am really excited to be doing a lot of fishing down there. I love fly fishing and fishing for stripers up here, saltwater. Down there, the fishing is really good being a coastal community like this. It is up here in Portsmouth. My golf clubs and my kitchen stuff, and that's going to be about it. Some bedding, and I'm off. So if you're thinking about reinventing yourself, I'd say it's definitely not too late. I'm really excited about the changes I'm making. And then also, if you're trying to figure out how you're going to do that, what I would say is to start building a personal brand. That's what I'm talking about a lot on this YouTube channel, is how even if you're in your 40s, you can start a personal brand. You can start something new and start to take control of your life. There's nothing better than being able to work entirely for yourself. I've done both. I've had restaurant jobs where I had bosses that I liked and I didn't like. Some of them were awesome and I had a great time, and some of them sucked and I dreaded going to work every day. I've also had a corporate job where I worked at a smaller startup company, and it wasn't really my vibe. I didn't really like the corporate life much at all, so I'm happy that I'm not there anymore. And I've also spent about 8 or 9 years completely working for myself, completely solely self-employed. And self-employed is the absolute best life that you can live, in my opinion. As long as you're making enough money to get by and you're able to put a little bit of money into savings, I would say 100% that is the way to go. And the best way to do that this day and age, with the rapid growth of social media and personal branding and the ability to make money through affiliate offers, through network marketing, I would say network marketing is a huge definite add-on that you should have if you're creating content, because whether you want to build the business traditionally or you just want to offer some of the products, you're going to get paid better commissions through network marketing than you are in affiliate marketing. And in affiliate marketing, you're not always getting paid off every order. A lot of those programs, they pay you for those initial orders, or they pay you for a sponsored post or something like that, but you don't make money month after month after month. And if you find a good company, you can offer products to people that they're going to be on long term. Ideally, if you find the right company to do that. So having some different offers for your personal brand, but really it starts with just starting your personal brand. Start talking, start putting yourself out there, start making some content, whether it be on YouTube in short form, long form, or if you're doing TikTok or Instagram or Facebook Reels or any of those in short form. Short form is probably a little bit easier, but I think building a long form channel on YouTube is really the best way to get connected to the people that are watching your videos. I don't have a lot of subscribers yet, but I am seeing a lot of repeat viewers, which is really cool. So there's people that are watching these videos time and time again as I make them, that we're starting to get to know each other a little bit. Through some of the comments in my different videos, I'm getting to know, who's watching different videos. So if you're one of my everydayers or every video watchers, comment down below and let me know so I can get to know you. And then also, it just gives you the ability, thanks to YouTube's algorithm, to get your content pushed out to hundreds of thousands different people, or maybe even millions if you have a great video pop off. So if you're thinking about this, just freaking go for it, man. There's nothing like taking control of your life and trying something new. If you're looking for a little help with your personal brand that you want to get started, either comment down below and let me know and I'll get you some information, or I'm also going to have a pinned comment in the description and down in the comments where you can go to my website, check that out, and I have a free personal brand starter kit that you can use as kind of a framework to start your personal brand, all for free. And I also have some courses on generating leads and stuff like that that's going to be coming in the near future. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of the photos and a little bit of my trip, and I'll see you guys on the next video.